Hello, this is Everton fans 77 with the Arsenal One Season for Glory series. We're in episode 2 now. I actually haven't uploaded an episode in this series since last Monday, and I explained in the Leeds United Career Mode series why I haven't been able to upload FIFA gameplay so much. My editing really wasn't playing back well. Windows Movie Maker was not playing, it was really laggy with the playback, so I actually wasn't able to edit FIFA gameplay. So I had to do some real life football videos, basically to be able to upload some content in the time while I figured out how to fix the system, and it seems to have been fixed now. I did the Q&A video, it seemed to work then. Then I uploaded my Leeds United Career Mode series on Monday, but then unfortunately I wasn't able to upload for 2 days because I still had that same problem, but it seems to be fixed now, and this series should be able to come out more frequently now. Hopefully it does, but you can never tell with Movie Maker because sometimes on my computer it just screws up really badly. But basically, to cap off what's been happening at the start of this episode, as you've seen before, we put in a loan bid for Montoya. Now we're actually going for the legend himself, Ronaldinho. Imagine how good it would be to have a career mode series with Ronaldinho in your team. Yes. But we're going into negotiations with him. Now, as you can see here, we get a contract, not a contract offer, a bid for Olivier Giroud, which we're going to counter offer. That was the word I was looking for. We will counter offer to 11 million. Now, you might say, you've already got a pretty good offer there. Aren't you being a bit ambitious there? Really, the chances of that Olivier Giroud would actually leave the club is not likely. Even if a deal does come through, because he's just recently joined Arsenal, there's a really low chance of him leaving the club. So, even if we do get a good price for him, we're not going to be able to sell him in a likely scenario. So we're just going to go for a high bid and see if we can pull off a bit of luck. Anyway, and Giroud is quite a good player as well to use. I didn't think much of him at first, but now I've been using him more, basically as a target man with crosses from people like Gervinho and Walcott and Oxlade-Chamberlain, and he's proved quite effective. Now, moving on to the first game of the episode, as you've seen before, it's a match against Stoke City. Now, Stoke, a very defensive team, we're playing at the Britannia Stadium as well, so I wasn't sure how we'd go against them. We actually get a very early goal, Cazorla putting us up 1-0, a great start to the game, but then it starts to go downhill from here. Walters gets a lucky deflection, and luckily for us, Nzonzi has a shot. They were really starting to build some pressure. The shot did go wide. Now, I did say things started to go downhill, but we actually made a lucky break. Walcott with that pace. Now, this is an awful finish on my part here. I really should have gone for either a more finesse or really looked to place it more in that bottom corner. But then here it is. Walters on the ball. One-on-one with the keeper. Szczesny. Now, it is hit straight at him. It's a decent save, but you really can't be hitting it straight back into Peter Crouch. Crouch is there. He's a big fella. It's not like he can sneak up on you. Peter Crouch is an absolutely huge player. So Szczesny should be able to see in there and really should do better in deflecting that away. Now, it wasn't an easy save. I am being very critical here, but Szczesny still could have deflected it away to a better scenario. Now, moving on, Matthew Etherington on the ball, whips it in, and luckily Peter Crouch, using all that height he has, wasn't able to head that home as it goes flying wide, whistling past the post there. Very lucky escape. Now, we almost got a goal of our own here to win the match at 2-1, but unfortunately we couldn't execute. Now, right now, my heart was in my mouth, quietly on the ball, way too much speed for Mertesacker, very evasive, takes it past him, sweaty goal opportunity. Wow, Szczesny makes up for his... If I was critical about that early save, I can say nothing about this one. Look at that from Wojciech Szczesny. Great save. And also some great defense as well. We didn't let... I think it was Peter Crouch get that shot away with some good defending. And yeah, great stuff. Now the unfortunate news is here. Thomas Vermaelen is actually out for 3 months with a broken ankle. That is horrible news and really means you're going to have to go out there and buy a new centre-back because we can't wait 3 months in a One Season for Glory series. We have to get Glory this season and we can't wait 3 months without Olivier Giroud, not Olivier Giroud, Thomas Vermaelen. As you can see here, Ronaldinho, well, not Ronaldinho himself, but the club, Atletico Mineiro, Atletico Mineiro, I'm not sure if that's how it pronounces it, but they've actually rejected the offer because Ronaldinho is new to the club and they do not want to sell him. Now, I'm going after Joleon Lescott as the replacement for Thomas Vermaelen for those 3 months. Now, that might seem a bit unorthodox in career mode to go out there and buy Joleon Lescott. You know, you'd probably look for a more Marvel Win type player, lots of pace at the back. That's not how I like to play. I don't like it all to be sweaty, and actually I like using Lescott as a player. I think he's very good to use, strong in the air, Not quite the same game as Vermaelen. Vermaelen's probably a bit better going forward, but that's still not what it's not really what you need at the back. It's great to have, but it's not crucial to have a player good at going forward. Let's go to a solid defender, and he'll definitely do for the time being. Now moving on to our next game against Sunderland, playing at the Emirates this time. Hopefully we can pick up a win in front of the home crowd, and Jack Wilshere gets us off to a great start, as you saw before, finishing it basically past the keeper after a bit of a scramble for the ball then. But right now, as you can see here, Cesar on the ball. Too much speed for Mertesacker, but Mertesacker does terrific to get his body in front of the shot, and we actually get the ball clear. Now moving on to the next section of the game, our next highlight. In the 32nd minute, they're going to make an attack here. Danny Graham, moving from Swansea to Sunderland, can't prove the manager, prove himself a good signing as he puts it wide there. I really did not work that well. And then an absolutely awful free kick. You cannot miss free kicks from there. It's pretty much like having a penalty. And yeah, I cannot believe with Santi Cazorla I actually missed that free kick. Really not good there. But anyway, moving on to the next half of the game, into the second half. Moving on. I kept saying that, moving on. But yeah, moving on. Yeah, I keep saying moving on. Sebastian Larsson finds Cesar, and Cesar can't put it away, thankfully for us. Now Mangana on the ball finds Gardner. Gardner is going to be dispossessed by Koscielny. Koscielny finds Cazorla. Look at this for a ball. Lovely round, not necessarily a through ball, but a lovely curving ball to find Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oxlade-Chamberlain takes on Jack Colback, has way too much pace to him, puts it in the back of the net. We go up 3-0, I'm pretty sure. 2-0. 2-0 it is, and now here's the third goal. Olivier Giroud loops it over the top to Gervinho. Now you'd be thinking it's the other way around, having not necessarily Gervinho, but another player whipping it over to Giroud. You don't expect a big target man to be playing balls like that, but that was super from Giroud, getting his first assist of the game. We go on to win that match 3-0. Manchester City accept our bid for Julian Lescott, so we're going to go into contract negotiations and try and get him for this season. Now, as you can see here, some terrible news here. Jack Wilshere, of all people wanting to leave the club, he is one of the last people I would pick to want to leave the club, but this is FIFA, and rubbish lies everywhere. Jack Wilshere is a very young, talented player, so here come the bids. Bayern Munich, because generally the board gets you to sell them as soon as you can when players hand in transfer requests, so I can't go for too much money, so I'm going to have to go for around the 30 million range, really to try and get rid of him before the board sells him for ridiculously low prices. But then I get this news. We are allowing you to make the final decision of Jack Wilshere. I'm like, I wish you could tell me that before I put in those counter offers. Could have got 35 million for Jack Wilshere there. But we actually sold him for 30 million. It's not disastrous. The board could have sold him for much less, and really, it's not a bad sale in all honesty, but still we were hoping for better. I'm not going to sell Wilshere to Chelsea because I know that would just infuriate so many Arsenal fans, and I've already rejected the bid. Now going to Bayern Munich is probably the best place for Jack Wilshere. We'll avoid abuse by not going to Manchester City because he'd be the next Sami Nasri, next Adebayor, moving on to Manchester City. But as I'm speaking about Manchester City, we're going to go for a Manchester City player, Yaya Toure, one of my favourite players in the game. Fantastic box-to-box midfielder, very strong, very powerful, and actually very quick off the mark, something FIFA doesn't really give him much credit for. Over about 10 to 20 yards, he's very quick. Now they actually don't accept our bid, only asking for $1 million more, so we're like, hell yeah, we'll take that. Going to a 14.5 million bid for Yaya Toure, that's fantastic. Now we're going to take him on with a 2-year contract with a crucial first team player role at £100,000. He accepts that contract offer, so that's great news. Yaya Toure, welcome to the club. Equally happy to have him as Jack Wilshere. Probably not in the long run. In the long run, you'd prefer to have Jack Wilshere, but we are only playing one season of career mode, and Yaya Toure will do fine for that season. Super player. Hopefully he can get some nice goals and assists throughout the season as well. This is the squad we are taking into our match against Tranmere Rovers. As you can see, the likes of David Villa, Thomas Brzezinski, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Olivier Giroud are actually on the bench. So we're playing a strong squad if those players are on the bench. Really giving Podolski some more first team game time in striker. Gervinho has played quite well in his recent games, so I thought I'd reward him with the starting lineup spot. And we're going to keep Arteta And what was Wilshere at the back? Wilshere has been replaced by Yaya Toure, as I'm sure you all know. Well, just as you saw just then, Wilshere got sold, obviously, and Yaya Toure came in to replace him. So that's basically the only major change to the starting lineup, as well as Joleon Lescott, who's playing his first game as well, coming in for the injured Thomas Vermaelen. Now, 45 minutes in, we go up 2-0, courtesy of Lucas Podolski, and as you can see here, Sandy Cazorla, of all people, heading a goal. Sandy Cazorla, the shortest player on the field, or the smallest player on the field. It's like a mix between those two words. The smallest guy on the field heads it home. So that was a bit weird there. But nevertheless, we'll take it any day of the week. David Villa fires home there, coming off the bench to score a goal there. Fantastic composure from David Villa. Now, they're actually going to come very close to scoring a goal here, hitting the upright. Unfortunately, we hold on to our 3-goal lead. That's about to be broken here. Thompson whips it in. Now they're going to head it, hit the post. Bit of a tongue twister there. Not really. For most people, hit the post wouldn't be a tongue twister, but I'm actually getting quite dehydrated and pronouncing simple words is not working. So, we're actually going to win that game 3-1, so a great result there in the Capital One Cup. This is the table. We're in 5th place. It's only 2 games into the season, so I'm not too worried about the table. And Swansea, Everton, and Newcastle in relegation. But that is bound to change throughout the course of the season. This has been Everton Fan 77 with the Arsenal One Season for Glory series. If you did like this episode, please leave a like and stay tuned for more episodes. See ya.